He doesn't have a mic, that's why.
That's why. Did you count us down?
Yeah, we're on.
Fuck. All right. Hello and welcome to another episode of Grange TV. Did he just turn my volume down?
Yeah, you were too loud.
Is that a power play? That's a power play.
That's the worst count in the history of worst counts.
That was a good count.
No, he still takes a cake.
Let's start again. Hello and welcome to another episode of Grange TV. We have with us Mr. David Roberts, about to be kicked off and switched over with Eli Hedges. We have with us the biracial angel, Mr. Robert Whittaker.
Hello.
And myself. And we're just going to... Can we, Dave, can we take that off the thing? We're about to...
You do me. Tell people why you don't have the screen on. Tell people. It blows me away why you can't have the screen on whilst we're
Why don't you explain it, Rob? Why don't you explain it?
Fab can't have the screen on because his ADD plays tricks on him and he starts to trip out. So we have to literally have the screen black until we're ready to answer questions.
Yeah, and he doesn't know how technically hard that is as well. Like it's just like, no, can it just be done? Can it be done? Don't worry about it.
Just like at the end, he's like, thanks guys for coming in. For coming. Are we off?
It's not something to make fun of, guys. It really isn't something to make fun of. It hurts me when you make fun of me. I'd just like to say it.
Does it?
Yeah, it hurts. I'm glad that I can be the butt of your jokes and make yourself feel good.
Nah, man, I'm the butt of the jokes half the time.
I just want you to know that it's not nice what you're doing.
I'll take it under consideration.
Let's before we start with some of that Q&A, let's recap the fight on the weekend. Well, there were a lot of fights, but we can't do them all. So let's just do Overeem and Rosenstruck. Apologies, Rosenstruck, if I'm not saying your name correctly. Yeah. Please don't break my back.
That was a cool fight. I thought Overeem fought so smart and tactically well. He obviously came into that fight with a game plan and executed it to, like, from what I could see, flawlessly. Rosenstruck started to really loosen up in the later rounds. I don't know whether he was loosening up just because maybe going into it with a name like Overeem and he just had a slow start. You know, it was like a one-off.
Well, he did get taken down.
Yeah, or maybe he has that sort of, okay, I'm losing this fight. I need to just start doing stuff. You know, because you can see a lot of guys when they fight almost the best they can when they're losing, when they need to perform, when they need to they're like lights of fire in them. And he started really coming back and pushing forward and being a bit more aggressive with his strikes. Like a big thing I noticed was that he started going to the body in the fourth rounds. In the fourth and fifth round, I think he started throwing body shots, which I thought he would have done much sooner because Overeem was like walking through with that high guard. But but I still think Overeem controlled the fight. I still think his tactics and game plan were flawless right up until, which is, you know, until he got hit, clipped, and then put away.
How hard do you think it is for a guy that's like not traditionally a takedown artist, like a wrestler or whatever, even though Overeem's got very, very good grappling. He won the Abu Dhabi European trials, like, I don't know, in 2005 or something like that. I don't know exactly what year it was. So his grappling is very good. He's got a whole bunch of wins by guillotine and a few other submissions. He's very, very good. But you don't traditionally see him do a lot of takedowns. How hard is it, do you think, for a guy that doesn't have that background to then go in and do the takedowns like that in a fight? How much... Because there were times where he seemed to be a little bit awkward with his takedowns.
I would assume very hard because, like, I guess I'm in that sort of category of, like, I have a lot of faith in my stand-up and I like to keep the fights there where I'm comfortable. But I have a whole side of my skill set that I just haven't incorporated yet, haven't used yet. I guess because, one, it doesn't come naturally and like, I haven't really needed to explore that field yet. But I also, too, is because of the thing that it doesn't come naturally. The lack of confidence in that skill set because you don't use it that often, because it's not your kind of comfort zone. So Yeah, I would think.
Because he looked very good when he did it. Like, he did a couple of nice, like, kind of step back, kind of lateral.
Yeah, he seemed really well when he was pushing Rosenstruck up against the fence. Like, his open floor, open mat sort of shots were, that's where he looked real awkward. That when he was up against the fence, controlling him on the fence, he had a lot of success controlling him with the underhooks, working those body locks, and it was really good to see.
There was this was his 23rd year of fighting.
23rd year of fighting.
Something like that. He said, 23rd. He said that. So maybe he started like when he was 17 or 18.
23rd year. That's a lot of fights.
Well, you're a young guy, but you've been fighting over 10 years as a pro.
Yeah, I think this is my 11th year fighting.
That's a long time to be fighting.
Yeah, it is.
when you think about it,
this is the first time I've thought about it like that. I've done a fair bit of time fighting, and I've got a number of fights under my belt now. I certainly don't want to be that guy, like 23 years later sort of guy. It's too long. And, like, fighting's hard.
People have been saying for a while that Overeem should retire, but he didn't actually look that bad.
I think we were speaking about it when we were watching it. I think Overeem was starting to look better.
He looked good. He looked good.
Yeah, he looked fitter than I've seen him in a long time. And he's like, his game plan execution was beautiful. Like, he strikes, like, everything was great. He just got clipped at the end, but he was winning that fight.
Getting clipped by Rosenstruck is not like, he's not like your shit.
How did that happen?
Yeah, he's a good striker, man, and good MMA fighter, undefeated MMA fighter. I think he's got 64 KOs as a kickboxer.
Yeah.
64 KOs. It's not even fights. You know what I mean? 64 KOs, 73 wins, I think, something like that. That's crazy. You know what I mean? And then, like, because I was reading a thing, it was people, you should retire. People were booing them.
Why?
I don't know.
Tell me, why?
I don't know why people are booing them.
Why do people do that?
But
but it's not my first time I've seen that either. I've seen people booing fights when it's been like very grappling heavy, and neither fighter is like super high profile or known for it.
But to me, with those two guys, I watching in hindsight, it's probably okay. Maybe it's not a fight you watch 10 times, but watching it live, because I watched it live, you think like, because there is a difference when you're watching something live. You know what I mean? You don't know what's going to happen. I kept thinking this is the round where one of them knocks the other one out. Yeah. Like, I kept thinking that the whole fight.
Yeah.
If you watch the fight knowing the result, maybe okay.
It's different.
But if you bought your ticket and you're watching and you found it, like, I don't know.
Especially high caliber heavyweights, it's like that. Because it was,
but two good strikers.
Yeah, in that division, like anyone, they could have knocked each other out at any given moment. Like, it was
that's what I mean. Like high level. And I just.
I guess the entire crowd were 2%. They all took
but in fairness, they might not have been booing, but maybe they did take a group bus.
A group bus over there and just sat down and were like, let's watch the fights today.
2%.
They get around.
All right, well, let's do some audience questions, and then
we'll finish up with our picks for the huge card.
Yes, sir. Well, one of the things that I actually was going to kick off with was I got a direct message question. The gentleman was asking something along, and I don't want to paraphrase exactly, but he said something about how when you said it's 50-50, how does those doubt, like you having doubts and lack of confidence, affect you in your training?
Oh, well, me and Chris were talking last week.
Yeah. I'm going to look it up on my phone so I can ask the exact question, so I'm not paraphrasing.
Okay.
So, but start kind of answering that to give context, I suppose.
Well, I guess when I say every fight's 50-50, that isn't due to a lack of confidence. Like, I have all the confidence in the world I can beat everybody in the world.
Do you want me to? I'll ask it exactly. So
derail me, please.
Sorry, mate. Also, sorry. We're just having a conversation here. It wasn't exactly the. Sorry, Rob. Sorry. And I know all your fanboys are going to be, you fucking can't rub off, you can't rub off, you fucking asshole. Also, when Weidman mentioned that it was brave to admit that there's a 50% chance to win, since that indicates doubt by many coaches' standards, i.e. many talented people are told by coaches that the lacking of confidence corresponds to loss. Can you address where confidence, hope and faith fit into the reasonable depression and the negativity used to propel harder work output and the doubt during training or moving past loss in a future episode?
It was worth finding that question because I thought it was, and I thought about this when you told me earlier, it was beautifully written. I thought it was written really well. Yeah, so like when I say a fight's 50-50, that's not because of a lack of confidence. You know, it's I have all the confidence in the world. It's more that's just the nature of the beast. You know, like it's like when you go out fishing, you know you may not catch anything, but it's not due to a lack of confidence. It's just because that day there's no fish or something. I assume I've never fished, so
how much fish you catch when you go spearfishing?
That was a great analogy, but
here's the thing: are you confident when you go spearfishing?
Nah. So there's a lack of confidence, and sometimes there's no fish. But in the fighting sense, like when me and Chris were talking about it, yeah, being at 50-50 doesn't mean anything. Like in that last fight with Alistair and Rosenstruck, like it was 50-50. Although, like, people can write it up any way they want, and Alistair on paper would have been the favourite most likely.
I think it was the underdog.
Really?
Yeah.
Rosenstruck's 14. I wouldn't have thought that.
But there you go.
Well, there you go. So with Rosenstruck, like, on paper being the favourite then, I guess, it's the same thing. It's like, that doesn't mean the odds change to 60-40. It's still 50-50 because at any moment, one shot can finish it, just like in that fight. Alistair was controlling the entire fight, I believe. And Rosenstruck landed a shot with 4 seconds to go. And that's just the nature of the beast.
How gruesome was that cut?
Yeah, it was. When you told me about it on the phone, I thought it'd be much worse.
It was pretty fucking bad, dude.
Oh, it was gross.
How much more did you want? What did you want done to his face?
I wanted to see something like Joker.
It looked, it was halfway to the Joker, man.
No, it wasn't halfway to the Joker. It was just a little flappy.
That was so bad, man.
It was gross, but
with that correlation, I think
you know what was gross when he saw it on the slow-mo and you saw the lip fly up.
What the thing with going back to that correlation with like I think also people misunderstand like being confident, being realistic, being negative. You know what I mean? Like there's I was listening to a podcast with Teddy Atlas the other day, and the guy from I always get the name in the wrong order. That David Patrick or David Patrick Bett. He's. I really like listening to that podcast anyway.
The second time you said it sounded better.
But I fucked up his name. Sorry, man. I'm not good like remembering shit like that. But I remember watching the podcast. It was a really good podcast. And he asked, he's not a fighter, obviously, but he's a real smart dude. I think his background is in insurance. And he asked Teddy Atlas, would you tell a boxer that they're not ready to fight? You know, if you think. Teddy Atlas is like, yeah, like 100%. You know, if he's one of my guys, 100% I'd tell him. And I think people don't understand that. It's like, oh, you should have confidence in your guys. And I think, like, not if your guy is not ready, you know, and that's not being not confident, you know what I mean? Like being able to sit and say to someone, look, that isn't thing. And like the other thing is, you know, and like let's say
that sense of a spade is a spade.
100%, you know, like it is what it is, and
you can't not trade and just believe.
But people don't understand that, and that's one of the things that to me is so like, and I see that happen not just like in fighting, but I see that happen in life or whatever. And I think, how the fuck do you spend $3 when you make $2? Yeah, you know, and it's not about being confident. It's not like.
I think also in the question he dropped the word faith. I think faith doesn't really have a place in.
I think you've got to have faith in your skill set and in your training and in the people around you.
Is it faith though? If you're believing in your skill set based off confidence in the training, You know what I mean? Like based off
No, it is
hard results of being like, okay,
I've
been training.
It is faith, but I don't think it's like it's not. You can't just go, oh, okay, well, God likes me more than than he likes Rob.
Yeah,
you know what I mean. I think like when you think like that, like and it's not realistic. That's all I'm saying. Like I think. I see that like, or people go, oh, would you tell so-and-so this? And I think like if that person has nothing to do with me, I'm not, that might be my subjective truth. So I'm not going to go up to someone and go, hey, your wife's ugly, even if she is. It's my subjective truth. She might be really pretty to him, you know?
Yeah.
But I'm not going to go up and say that. But like if I was, I don't know, if I'm judging a beauty pageant or whatever, and there's like a criteria, then it isn't like, no, fuck, I'm not going to fab me. I'm not going to win a fucking beauty contest.
Yeah.
I know this. Do you know what I mean? Like, it's fucking stupid. If you said to me, oh, what'd you do, Fab? I'll mortgage my house. I'm going all in this with this modelling thing. Like, it's with my fucking cone head and pot belly. It's just not going to work.
I cannot wait for the memes on the back of that one.
Maybe I'll win.
I'd vote for you, mate.
Let's kick off, Dave. Let's see what the first question is.
Also, like I see a lot of the names. These guys, the top three guys, are like some of the main guys of the Discord.
So, are they?
Yeah. So they're always chatting on there and like talking to guys. Quite funny fellows. Quite funny fellows.
Okay.
The Discord. The link is here for the Discord. Feel free to jump on.
I've been told by the Discord not to share the link, or they're coming after me. So.
Oh really?
Yeah, they're very passionate about the link.
Oh, so they wanted to be exclusive.
Yeah.
Well, I'll let the Discord work out what the Discord wants. Okay.
I don't know what that is. So.
Cool.
So it says here.
Economy.
First donation, boys. We're going broke out here. Economy, $5. Economy, thank you so much. Mr. Sonnen, $5, asks Fab, when is your wrestling seminar going to happen? I would not do a wrestling seminar, and I don't think anyone would come to it. But we are thinking of doing a seminar at Gracie Tarman in the very near future. Not me necessarily, but Rob and some of the others. So we'll keep you updated on any seminars that are going to happen. Economy. Any updates on the Rob and Fab gaming streams?
Yes, we've been in the talks with AMD. The computers are on their way, and so we are looking to set up and go live soon in the near future.
I'm ready to do it. That's all I'm going to say. I signed the contract. I'm ready to go, and that's it.
And what else?
That's it.
And who didn't? Who didn't sign the contract?
You.
What do you mean, me?
Well, I said, yeah, cool, I'm ready to go. You said blah, 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 and then nothing.
How did this turn into a fight?
It's a competition.
I'm the reigning Mortal Kombat champ anyway.
Sev Rev, $7.99 Australian. Rob, you're my favourite fighter. Can't wait to watch you become champion again. Do you see anyone other than yourself beating Izzy in 2020? Cheers from Melbourne.
It's hard. I think Izzy's a great fighter. I think he's got a good skill set. It depends the matchups, because the matchups really make fights. Like it really is that. I think there's some real killers up the top of the food chain at the moment. It's hard to say. It's hard to say with the division in flux as it is. Like there aren't a lot of fights matched at the moment, so I have to wait and see how things go and how things clear up.
Ben Garrison, $2 Australian. Do you sell signed gloves? If so, link me, big boy.
I'm sorry, mate. I don't.
I'm assuming that was to you, that question, not to Dave.
Maybe.
Isaac Ma, what advice do you give to a young guy in Sydney changing from playing rugby league to MMA? Cheers, brah.
Just get on the mats and start training. See where it leads you.
I think you're very lucky in Sydney as well, because there's heaps of places to train. That's a big one. I think like you can find like a bunch of different places, and it's pretty cost effective. But
And the level has also kind of equaled out a lot. Like a lot of these places that maybe back 10 years ago were like new and,
yeah,
just kicking off. Almost all of them are established now.
yeah, I also think another big thing with that is my personal advice to that would be go to a local PCYC, join their boxing program, and all their wrestling, judo, BJJ programs, and just start training. Like Rob said, just get on the mats. But it doesn't have to be anything amazing. Like you don't have to do that. And it's quite cost effective. Like you can join a boxing program for relatively cheap, and just get the basics and the technical part right. That I think that would be really important.
Is that the end of the paid ones at the moment?
No, this was it.
Okay, here we go.
Mr. Sonnen says, and also, how do you feel about all Russian athletes getting banned from the Olympics? And Rob, where's my $10, you grub? The rich get rich.
Do I owe it? do I owe him $10? He may have asked to borrow $10 from me. I don't know. Can you answer the Olympic question though?
Well, I'm
not quite up to date with it.
I don't know. I think that kind of stuff, anything, I don't really want to comment on it too much because I feel like I don't know. Like I've seen I don't want to comment on it too much. Like I feel like everyone piles on with stuff that's happened. Say for example, just take drugs in sport or whatever. Like they're not the only people that have been busted pretty bad doing it. So I don't know. I don't know. I don't really want to comment on that too much. JSJ23 says Rob saw Usman confront Colby backstage last year. Question mark.
Were you there for that one?
Yeah, I was there.
Yeah.
We were both there backstage.
Yeah, and Cerrone was there as well.
There was heaps of people backstage.
Yeah. 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 Yeah, I was there.
Well, you'll have to elaborate on that.
No, I know. Yeah, no, I was there. I don't know. Guzman was pretty mad. he was trying to staunch Colby. Colby didn't really want to have a bar of it at the time. I don't think that was due to cowardice. I think just Colby didn't want to have a bar of it just then. I don't know. I think it's silly. I think all of it's silly. Like when they try to staunch and stuff like that at the back. But then I don't know. It's a hard question to answer because if it gets personal, you kind of make it personal. You don't do it in a public setting. You know what I mean? Like if it's personal, then it's just me and you, and I'll get you.
And you can find each other.
You don't have to do it there where everyone's going to pull you off him or where it's going to be broken up. Like if you made it personal with me, like personal, on like a deep level, then I'd make it personal.
Another thing is as well, I think people don't realise, like, if you don't have to have a big, massive public altercation. Like, the fighters, for the most part, stay all in the same hotel. It's, like, harder to not run into someone than to go, shit, I've got to go find that guy. Like, it's harder. Like, if you're staying
you
the
can
same...
pick your times.
Yeah, you just run into each other, like, all the time. So...
that was probably the most surprising thing for me coming to that fight week was how close all the fighters are.
Yeah.
Even for the weigh-ins, like you're right next to everyone. Everyone's there. Like it's crazy. You're always on the bus together. It's crazy.
And I'm sure you could, like, if you just went to the front desk, you said like, "I work for you. See, can you give me so and so's room number?" You just stroll on up there.
You wouldn't even have to though. You could just you'd run into them in the lobby. Like you run into people. Like that, like, I don't know, when you see people say everything and blah, 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 dude, that you're right next to each other all the time. You don't need to do anything to meet, to see each other if you really wanted to.
It didn't need to happen there.
But I don't know what happened, to be honest, between them.
Yeah.
I don't know if Colby had been saying something. Maybe Colby had said something right then to him too. I don't know.
I don't think so.
Because I wasn't paying attention to them until they started saying stuff to each other. Usman looked like proper pissed off. So maybe something was said.
I don't know if he looked proper pissed off to me. He
looked angry.
Yeah, sort of. Like it looked like a show angry. I don't know.
I don't know the backstory.
I don't know. Maybe it wasn't though. And he was genuinely angry. I don't know. I don't know either guy well enough to really understand all the backstory.
The other thing is it's hard because you're not really going to fight in that scenario.
No.
There's so much security and there's so many people there. There's
both of those guys were going to fight in the next 2 days. Other people.
In the next few weeks.
No. I think Colby fought like that weekend with me.
No, that happened in Brooklyn. Because we were there, you weren't fighting. We were just there for that was when Khabib fought.
Was it?
I'm pretty sure.
No, I don't think it was that soon. That close. I think it was before that. I'm sure. I don't think it was there. I don't know. We answered the question.
Hey Rob, I just want to say I love the podcast. You and David Shields make great hosts. David, who's David Shields?
I do know that you're not David Shields. So
we've narrowed that down.
I got a cramp.
John Smith asks for $2.
I love that name, John Smith.
Was a famous wrestler. Does Romero take down Israel? Thoughts on Chicago?
I don't think Romero really runs takedowns anymore in his game. Like, to be honest, he doesn't even look built for takedowns anymore. He kind of looks like just like a real stocky, staunch Mike Tyson. That's my opinion on his body physique at the moment. Like he doesn't. When I've seen him in his open workouts and in his last fight with
Costa,
even
in the second fight with you.
And especially in the second fight with me, he didn't move like he used to. He didn't move like that wrestling agility. Granted, still very agile.
He's still he's still like top 1% of the planet.
But he doesn't look like his wrestling style was very much built around the fact that he could move so explosively and
fluidly.
Fluidly, yes.
How different was the feel between the first and the second fights with him?
Night and day. It was like fighting two different people.
So, if I think he can take Israel down. What I don't think he can do is take him down for 5 rounds. No, I don't think he can do that. And I think how he has been lately, I'd have to favour Israel in that fight, just with Israel's length and obviously his striking pedigree. And I think that he'll have a lot of problems closing that gap.
Yep.
To even be able to execute that game. I think Israel will get up after a couple of times.
Yeah. I'm very curious to see, if they do fight, I'm very curious to see if how he just gets to the fight. Like
who?
Like Romero. Like what sort of guy he comes as. Because every fight he looks different. He looks either more weathered or more jacked, or like you never know what you're going to get.
I think also another thing is at his age, or at any age, but he's had 3 losses in the last 4 fights, which 3 of those losses, the 3 losses were all close fights and wars where he took a lot of damage. Whether you whoever you were going for in that fight and whoever you think won the second fight with you, to suggest you're a fucking idiot to suggest that he wasn't injured, that he didn't get hurt in that fight with you when he had face surgery, No,
and he still looks.
Yeah, it looks different.
Yeah, his face looks different.
So, and it's only testament to how tough he is. You know what I mean? But I think that in that short span of time, even the fight with Weidman, it was a hard fight. You know what I mean?
All his fights have been hard. His last few years have been hard fights. So the fight with Jacare,
the Jacare fight that was crazy.
Crazy.
So I think all those types of fights, and to get to this point now. It's hard, man. I don't see, and credit to Israel too, who's a very, very good fighter. I just see. I mean, Romero can win 100 billion%. Can he take Israel down? Yeah, I'm sure if they had a wrestling match, he'd take Israel down easily, but not in MMA. I think it's going to be very hard. I think he might take him down once or twice, but I think it'll be very hard for him to hold him down.
What about Romero's weight? Do you reckon he's going to make weight?
He made weight quite well against Costa. When we saw him in Brooklyn, that time we saw him in Brooklyn, he looked fucking huge.
Yep.
Like, fucking massive.
Because he hasn't made weight for the title fights, has he? Like,
No, he's missed weight a few times.
Yeah.
Several times. But he
Twice, I think. That, like, in
he did make weight.
2
for
title
Rockhold.
fights. He's missed weight.
for Rockhold and
Yeah.
for
Me.
Rob. Yeah. I don't know, man. I don't know because I haven't seen him. When I saw him in Brooklyn, man, he looked so big, so massive, you know. That I said to the boys, I don't think he's going to make weight. I really don't. You know, I'm surprised he got to where he got to. Like, you know,
he was so big, dude.
yeah, he was massive. I don't know. I don't see him being able to take Adesanya down for 5 rounds.
I don't see
No
him
way.
coming with that sort of game either.
Yeah, that's the thing. I don't see him being like. I don't see him trying to do it, and because I don't think he's able to.
Yeah.
You know.
Hey lads, greeting from Canada from Dylan.
Sorry, can one thing I was going to say was just to finish what I was saying, but that doesn't mean that he can't Donkey Kong punch him.
I'm pretty sure that's going to be his game plan. Like that's the whole focus. Like he's just going to go in there and try and land one on him, and if he does, like he hits like a truck. Dylan Deegan, Canadian $5. Thank you. Hey lads, greetings from Canada. What are your thoughts on Aldo cutting to bantamweight? After Aldo's last few years of fighting, I don't see a move down being healthy for him.
How hard is it for you to move down?
I can't move down. But then, yeah, I
Why don't you have the coleslaw instead of the potato and gravy at KFC?
Because I love the potato and gravy, mate. I just can't. And I don't think anyone can move down very well. I think, especially not after like the last few years he's had. You know, he's had hard fights. And I just don't see it being healthy. I just don't. I'll be very surprised if he comes in really well.
One of the things that did strike me when I saw him though in real life was he was significantly smaller than I thought he'd be.
Oh well, I see a lot of those guys.
Like Edgar's little.
Yeah, a lot of those guys in the smaller weights though are much smaller, even in the welterweight. Not all of them, but a lot of them like look smaller, like a shorter, and they look smaller than the big guys like middleweights and up.
He looked surprisingly small.
The camera doesn't. It's funny the way it does. Like it makes kind of everybody look the same when they're in reality.
Yeah, it makes some of the middleweights look smaller and some of the like little guys look bigger.
Yeah, it must be a marketing purpose to that one.
I don't know,
but yeah, it's like that because if you were there in person and you see like when we did the Ultimate Fighter show, like some of those guys were towering over the fence.
Yeah,
they were huge, and like when they would run into the fence, it would like shake.
When we did the show, it was crazy.
Like how much bigger they are, and you don't see that when you see them in there fighting. So I think it's all magic, mirrors, smoke.
Yeah, so I don't know though, you know, because I know that a couple of times he had trouble making 145. I don't know if he had trouble. He never missed weight, but there's been a couple of times I think he had a little bit of trouble making 145. But like you know, I can't say until I see him, but I do know that traditionally fighters don't do well when they go down later in their career.
I just can't see him being healthy,
except Cannonier.
Except for that guy,
because he's got, but he was big at heavyweight and light heavyweight. Like he was still carrying a little bit of chub.
Yeah, yeah. I just don't see it being healthy for him. I don't. I think it's really going to drain him from him. I'll be very surprised if it doesn't.
Rob, any updates on you fighting Till in London?
I don't think it's happening, and it's not because I haven't tried pushing it. I have. I've said it everywhere, and I still want that, but I just don't see it happening.
Do you want Till or do you want London?
I want London. I'll fight anybody in London.
Saverio Governale
No, the message retracted.
has retracted his message. Do we keep the money though? The $1.99.
I hope so. You can't have it back.
Punting edits $2.99. What is your walking around weight, Rob?
About 97 kilos. What's that? 215
Yeah.
around then. Yeah.
Break down the Holloway fight. Up the Aussies. Joel Hoffman, $2.99 Australian.
When we do our predictions at the end.
We will do the predictions at the end, and we will do that.
Yeah, but we'll put a little bit of extra oomph in there because you paid $3 for it.
Punting edits, $2.99. What is the best martial art to learn first? That's a tough one. I would probably, honestly, I'd probably say maybe wrestling. Maybe I think wrestling would be like a really, really good foundation because I think it'll put you in the best mind frame to do well in everything else. To be honest, like and it'll always be there to fall back on. And I think it's got a stand up and a grappling element, like a down on the ground element. My answer to that would be like more like the martial art you're gonna adhere to. So if you're a young guy starting, there's no point. Probably if there's a boxing gym and you enjoy boxing and it's 5 minutes from your house and you're going to do that 6 days a week, to start, then you're better off doing that than trying to travel, an hour and a half away and you're not going, you're going to do jiu-jitsu 3 times a fortnight just because of the distance or whatever. So I think something you're going to adhere to and that you enjoy, because I think all martial arts are they're like gateway drugs. You know what I mean? Yeah. They open up the other possibilities if you're into it. So probably the one you're going to adhere to.
Put you on the track.
Yeah, I think so.
John Con Drums, we're not going to answer that, mate. Sorry. We
don't know enough on that topic, buddy.
Sorry, mate. Apologies.
Yes Man 6, $5. Who do you guys have for Cowboy versus Irish Drunkman? I mean, okay, he's saying about Connor. Keep the awesome stuff, fellas. Who do you have versus Cowboy versus Connor?
I'm going to lean towards Connor.
I think Connor beats him. I think Connor is
stylistically it's a good matchup for him.
Yeah, I think Connor's got very good boxing, and I think his grappling is underrated, very very underrated. I think he can wrestle, and I think he can grapple.
He packs a punch.
Oh, he hits super hard, and he can box.
And he's got good timing.
Yeah, and I think
it's a great fight for him.
Yeah, and I think Cerrone's very good, but I think there's a couple of things. Boxing-wise, he's struggled against the better boxers. Not strikers necessarily, but the boxers themselves. And guys that can box and wrestle have been, for a lot of the times, have been not good matchups for him. And I see him struggling with McGregor. I see him struggling with McGregor's range. McGregor's got very good range, and I see him struggling. I don't think he can out-grapple McGregor, and I don't think he can outbox him. That's my, and I like Cerrone. I love watching him fight. It's just one of those things where styles make matchups.
Do you reckon that fight has been made, but what card is that on?
January something.
Is he the headline?
I don't know. Because
the UFC will most likely make it a numbered card for the pay-per-view.
It'd have to be, yeah.
Yeah. So that'd mean they'd headline like a non-title event.
Yeah, it's been done before.
Cool.
Masvidal and Diaz just did it.
That was a title event.
No, it was a non-title event, but yeah. No, there's been a couple, and yeah. Rob mentioned before he wanted to fight in Japan, from JSJ23, £2.
Yes, I do. I would like to fight in Japan. I love Japan. Any reason to go back there? We both like Japan. So yeah, like any reason to go back would be great.
Okay. Economy, $2. How do you guys see Usman versus Colby going?
We will also cover that in the predictions. So anyone who wants to find out about our breakdowns or predictions, just wait.
We will answer you.
5 minutes.
We will answer you, mate.
We're getting to it. But we'll put extra emphasis in there for you guys that are.
But we'll ask you a question. We will answer it.
Yes.
£5 from JJ. Hey, messaged you a while ago. Any chance you do a video call for my dying mum? She's got lung disease and seems to be giving up. You're my best fighter. It will mean the world.
Yes, 100%. I will look for your message, JJ.
Did he message you on your phone?
No. Yeah, it's on Facebook. So I'll go through it. Sometimes I'm not super active like in the messages on my socials.
Do you want to grab your phone now and we'll do it now?
You want to do the video now?
Oh, okay. You do a video one. All right, cool.
Yeah, it's a video.
How many Weet-Bix do you do from Hackinator, $5 Australian?
When I think the most I did before school in high school was 12.
Did you eat Weet-Bix, Dave?
Yeah, but not 12. It's
Yeah.
a lot.
You know, what you do is you put your Weet-Bix in, you put a bit of boiling water, and you put your milk to cool it down, then the sugar, and you mix it all up till it becomes a big mush.
Really?
Yeah.
I never liked that.
You know
That's
what,
right.
though? Is that how you used to eat it?
Yeah.
Yeah. You know what, though? My brother took it as a personal challenge. Shout out Stephen Whittaker. Took it as a personal challenge. The whole, how many do you do? And I saw him eat like half a box.
Is that a challenge? Is that like a...
I don't know if it's a challenge, but
It is now.
he loved Weet-Bix, loved it. And so, yeah, he did something like 20-something Weet-Bix in one go.
That expands in your stomach, then you feel full for like 3 days.
Yeah, well, but think of how satisfied you are at the end of it all.
I felt so I'd feel sick. What's the next one?
Some people can't handle that many Weet-Bix.
So have you? Sorry. Okay, Fab. Did you ever pick on Rob for not seeing the Mortal Kombat controls on the screen? Also, do you still keep in touch with Juan Espino from Grape Monkey?
Let me answer the first bit. Fab hasn't stopped complaining since I beat him with the black screen. He whinges all the time, like non-stop. But if you look back at the footage, you can see when the screen went black, he just kept going, like he was all confident that he was winning it, that he was making the best of it. And I just played it cool and then waited for the screen to come back and smoked you afterwards.
You still? That's all bullshit. That's all
It's not
fucking
bullshit.
crap.
You
you-
make a good point. The screen went black for both of you. It's not just one. So why was it an unfair advantage to one side?
Because I'm the better player.
Because he's whinging. Because he's crying about it.
I'm the better player.
He's crying about it. And-
Dave, can you go back? Because you keep moving that thing. You're fucking with my ADD so bad, dude. Just stop there. Just stop.
But
Go down a little bit. That's it. Stop.
He's moving it to the questions
Stop.
we haven't seen
Stop.
yet.
Stop. Just fucking stop. I'm about to have a fucking breakdown. Jesus.
We do keep in touch with Juan. You met up with him last year.
Yeah,
No,
he
this
came.
year.
Yeah, he came to Sydney for a little bit, like literally for a day. He was just traveling around. He's a bit of a playboy, that guy, and he ended up in Sydney for like a day. And yeah, we hung
He
out.
is a Casanova, isn't he?
He is. He's quite the Casanova. And so we hung out with him for like a day, literally a day. He was here, and then he went home. But we do keep in contact with him. He's good, man.
Yeah.
He's someone that I think will go. Like maybe his age might hold him back a little bit.
Yeah, we were speaking on this before. Like, I think Juan can be the next heavyweight champ. Like, legit. I think his skill set can take him the whole way. It's just the time he's gotten into it now, his age, the clock's ticking. And he just got injured. So his timeline's been pushed back a little bit more. It's just... Yeah.
Although having said that, dude, the guy's in super shape.
Oh, yeah. And he looks like... And from what we know of him, he does all the right things to keep it all together nice and well for the longevity of it all. So, let's see.
Major Tom,
Tom,
Aussie, $5.
if I met you in person and greeted you as a biracial angel, would you knock me out? No, I wouldn't knock you out. I may not answer because...
Everyone calls him biracial angel.
Yeah,
His wife calls him biracial angel now.
No, she doesn't.
Everyone calls him that.
But no, people at signings and stuff, people have come up to me and go, biracial angel. And I'm like, you watch the podcast, nice.
Joel Hoffman, $2.99. Kelvin called you out for London. Does that work?
Kelvin? Yeah, if they get me to London, I'll go to London. But I don't think they do. But I want to go to London. So.
But you can't talk on anything yet, eh?
No.
Okay.
So yeah, I'll fight anyone in London.
But there's some news that may shock and offend some viewers.
Yeah, it's going to be ground shaking.
Ground shaking, mate. Can I talk about it? I'm going to say it. He's going to fight two flyweights at once.
You're not supposed to tell people, man.
That'd be good. Just want to say,
I'll probably lose
Dimitri,
because I'm a middleweight. It's not like a huge size discrepancy. They're
little guys.
they'll pack punches, man.
Oh, 100%. It'll be a good fight.
I can
It'll be a good fight. If like there was 2 flyweights and you had a coat hanger, like a wire coat hanger.
Oh, that'd be good.
That'd be interesting.
So what I'd do is I'd make it into a hook and I'd just swipe at eyes.
Yeah.
So one would keep his distance because he's afraid to lose his vision, and then I'd work out a head kick on the other one.
And you wouldn't have to kick that high. Just want to say a big thanks to Fab for replying to me with some great advice on Instagram during a tough time that really helped me with battle my problems. Thank you, man. Thank you for even watching the podcast and being the one person that messages me on Instagram. No, thank you, mate. Thank you. MNBB879 for $5. Do you spend more time on anaerobic explosive training or aerobic 20 to 30 minute non-stop interval trainings, or do you do both equally?
I think it's a healthy mix. Yeah, I think it's just a healthy mix. What do you think? You structure the training a lot of the time.
Yeah, well, it depends, because you got to understand, in the cardiovascular training and any anaerobic training, there's stuff that you might do specifically. So you do that with Justin Lang, where you might do some plyometric stuff, or you do whatever you're doing there. But then the rest of the stuff that you're doing is all combat related. So when you're doing a lot of the wrestling stuff, a lot of that's like isometric holds at a cup, but you're not stopping and doing that. So you're actually wrestling. So that would be, anaerobic lactic training, a lot of it. A lot of that's, a lot of isometric kind of holds, but we're not doing a lot of, there's only a couple, like 2 or 3 days in a week where you have the training where it's, plyometric, cardiovascular, anaerobic lactic, and it's a healthy mix of all of that that's structured by exercise physiologists, but it's not necessarily, like during a session or whatever where you go, we're just going to do cardiovascular training, because a lot of it is very, very similar to the fight.
Kadzi. Hey, Rob, do you love the red hot chili peppers? I do.
I want to get Flea on here.
Yeah.
Or Anthony. I can't say his surname. How do you say his surname? I don't know. I always fuck up his surname.
Yeah, well, we're huge fans, and we'd love to get those guys on our podcast. That would be great. We brought the big guns in.
Eli just walked in. He's proud as punch.
Look at him with the sunglasses. Such a savvy character.
He is, mate.
Yeah, so fans of the show, please reach out.
Reach out to Flea in particular, because was Flea born in Melbourne, Dave?
I don't know, but he lives in Australia now, doesn't he?
Is he living here?
Thought so.
I knew he was out here. I don't think he's living here.
Wow, I'm sure he's dual citizen.
Bombard his Instagram, please guys.
Peer pressure him.
Yeah, bombard his Instagram. Cade the A from New Zealand, $5, says, would you rather fight Till or Cannonier?
To be honest, I don't care. It doesn't bother me. I don't like. The only reason I wanted to fight Till was because I wanted to go to Europe. I don't really care who I fight. They're all going to be hard fights. JSJ23,
Rob and Fab's favorite fighter from before this era.
What's the length of the era?
I don't know. Just give me a couple of fighters that you liked from say 10 years ago, 15 years ago. Guys that you might have looked up to.
Grew up watching?
Yeah.
Probably my favourite growing up was probably Zambitis. No, he was not MMA, but he was probably my favourite fighter watching growing up. I loved watching him fight.
Anyone else?
Not really. Maybe when I first got into the MMA scene. Not really.
If it's not limited to only MMA, I'll give you a few people that I like. That I liked. Not MMA. I like De La Hoya, Pernell Whittaker. I also liked Hoost. I love watching Hoost fight. There were so many guys. I'm going to leave people out. Nogueira was probably one of my favourites back in the Pride days. Fedor as well, massively. Gomi in Pride as well. I liked him when he was. Fedor is probably one of my favorites. From and Sakuraba. That was that mix. I think would be my who's who of fighting. But I liked Pernell Whittaker a lot, and I liked De La Hoya. I like watching De La Hoya fight a lot. They were kind of like when I was in like 15, 16 years old or 17 years old, and I was watching them fight all the time. And Mark Hunt, I was always a massive fan of Mark Hunt.
I was never huge into watching combat sports when I was younger. Like I just watch sometimes the kickboxing because my old man be watching it on Fox, so I'd tune in for it. But apart from that, yeah, not really.
Favorite fighter, Eli, from outside of this era? Your favorite fighters from outside of this era?
I think with the boxing, I'd probably have to go Evander Holyfield. I loved Evander Holyfield as going up through the weight divisions, and then in MMA, I think I was a big fan of Anderson Silva, but I think I've mentioned before I liked some strange guys too in the Ultimate Fighter House and that. Joe Lozon. Oh, he's still fighting, but isn't he?
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, so he's in our era, but yeah. And then going back to the probably kickboxing and that, Carnage, Corbett.
Oh yeah,
Nathan Corbett. I liked him, and then Zimbedes and that as well. Yeah.
Can you go up a little bit? Yeah. Chris Kidd, $2 Australian. What did you think of Overeem's cut?
Yeah, I think we covered it a little bit earlier, but it was gross. Like it was a big cut, like a flap of his lip was just like hanging off. But like we said at the beginning, like when you called me, you said it was like the worst cut I've ever seen. And I was
worst cut on the mouth I've ever seen, because I think Marvin Eastman, when he got kneed by Vitor Belfort, do you remember that? If you can't remember that, look at that one up. Marvin Eastman versus Vitor Belfort. Vitor Belfort kneed him in the fucking head here, and his head opened up. It was bad. That was a bad cut. But that, like Robbie Lawler's cut was bad, but that one was like 3 times the size of Robbie Lawler's cut.
I didn't get a good view on it, so it's hard for me to say. But it was bad. It was. You could see it flapping. You could see it flapping when he got punched. It was gross.
Dude, I'm going to weigh in a sec. What do you think, Eli, of that cut?
Oh, the cut was nasty. It was one of the nasty ones I've seen. It was just, I don't know how it opened up so well. He just sort of had his mouth open a little bit. It just, I don't know. No, it was definitely one of the nastier ones. There's been some nasty ones in boxing, but with head clashes.
Yeah.
They've been really nasty in that as well. But no, it's one of the nastier ones on the mouth I've seen.
You know what I think about when you see cuts like that? Because that cut it cut not just the lip, it cut everything else. Like what people don't understand is after that you go get stitched up, everything you have to go do, whatever. But you still have to eat and do everything else that you have to do. That would be so painful and uncomfortable. And luckily though, that actual part like your lips and your tongue, they heal very quickly. But it'd still be shit. You know, it'd still be like the little things, you know what I mean? When you get injured or something and you're like, it's little things that you can't do. Not the big things, but just like you had to sip water or, something like coffee or something would sting so much. Fuck, alcohol. Hey, Rob and Fab, can you explain how a fight is actually booked between two fighters? Does the UFC just send you a name or do you get to pick your opponent? Reese Smith, Australian, $10.
Yeah, so what happens is, I guess it depends who you are to a certain extent. Like I'm sure the more money you make for the company, the more leverage you have. But like in my experience with how it goes is they literally just like I think the managers talk. So the UFC will go to your manager and be like, how's X on Y? Like how's that for this date and in this location? And you say yes or no. And if you say no, you get benched and you probably won't fight for ages. Or you say yes, and then the fight's booked and they send you the contracts, and that's more or less it. Sometimes you can try to get the crowd behind you by calling people out and doing things like that. Or calling people out in a civil way. You can like two fighters can agree to fight, but if the company will do what the company wants. So if the company doesn't want you to fight, then they're not going to fight. You aren't going to fight. They're going to do what they want. I'm not salty or anything about not going to Europe.
Economy $5. Rob, how much do I have to pay you to finish Demon Slayer? What is Demon Slayer, Robert?
It's an anime.
What is it?
It's an anime, so it's like a series, anime series, like a cartoon.
Like a cartoon series?
Yeah, anime, but yeah.
And so, but what is it? What's it about? Why is this man?
He wants to pay me to finish it because I mentioned on the Discord I dropped it because I didn't really like it that much.
Why didn't you like it?
Because the main character's a kid and he's kind of whingy, and like he has like a weird relationship with his sister and.
What kind of weird relationship?
Oh, he just wants
incestual.
Nah, like.
That's what you made me think. You got to tell me what you're saying.
There's like hints of it.
Oh, there are hints of incest.
Hints, but it's not. But there's hints. It's not, but it's creepy enough that I don't want to be a part of it anymore.
Really?
Yeah.
So what's the feel of anime? Is it creepy and weird? Because I always think of it as creepy and weird.
Yeah, that's wrong. Some it depends on the anime. There's multiple genres, just like in movies. There's genres of movies and things like that. Some anime I've watched, I've seen, like literal art pieces, like things that. It's very, like, I've seen series of anime that makes me feel stuff. Like
what, Rob?
Literally make me sad in a moment in the show or make me angry or upset. Any cartoon or anime that can literally, like, pull an emotion out of me is a piece of art. Like, that is well played. Like, there's been anime that make me, like, that G's me up. That makes me still like so happy something's happened in a show, or I get excited, and anything that can drive an emotion out of me like that is pretty special, I think.
How much anime would you watch a week?
Nowadays, not much, but in probably from the ages of 14, 15 till about 24, I would have watched thousands of hours. Especially when I was going through high school, that was kind of like one of my main escape retreat sort of things. So I'd go to school, come back, and just binge anime until 3 a.m, and then rinse and repeat.
Cadsy asks, when can you challenge Izzy for your belt? Also, do you watch One Piece, best anime ever invented?
I don't watch One Piece because it's a bit too kiddie for me. Like it was like I understand that it changed as the series went on, but when they kicked it off, it was kind of kiddish, as well as there's something like 4 billion episodes. I don't have time to watch that much. Also, a fight easy when I get around to it, I guess. Like when I work my way back up, it's not a fight I got like the next fight's the next fight, whoever.
What happened, Dave? There was there we go. LV $1 says message is held for review.
No, I
What
think
the hell did you write, LV?
I think message retracted.
What the hell were you thinking, mate?
Cool.
And what's next? Any others down there?
That's it. Let's see what.
There was another one that we missed before. Something about the stream.
Someone asked if I watched One Punch Man.
No.
I think One Punch Man is one of the best animes I've ever seen. It is genuinely hilarious, and that like it's just a great anime. Second season, not so much. Still great, not so much. First season was unbelievable. I think everyone should watch
What's One Punch Man?
It's literally about a man who can just one punch everything. like it's so good.
No, down, Dave.
It is.
There, stop.
It is so good. It's so good. There's like no build up. There's nothing. Like they have fight scenes. The dude just runs up to things and just punches it once and it dies. It's so good. It's so good. 2 thumbs.
It sounds intriguing. I'm intrigued.
Oh yeah.
Go buy yourself something nice. When's the Twitch? From Farmer Zach, Australian, $5.99.
Go buy yourself something nice, Fab.
Well, when is the Twitch,
Pretty
mate?
yourself up a little.
When is the Twitch?
When we get the computers.
Why do you keep dodging me for?
I'm not dodging anyone.
Well, you could have had the computers here by now.
You don't want this smoke, brother.
I'm the best. Rob gets enjoyment from shooting down my animes. From
animes, fuck me.
How do you say it?
Animes.
Animes.
Animes. something.
Economy $2. Thank you, Economy.
Thanks, Economy.
Economy has really thrown us a big lifeline.
Yeah. Like,
Thank you for supporting us during this tough time, Economy.
I'm sure I've seen him mention a ton of times on the Discord that he's running out of money or he's struggling for money because he just keeps donating to us.
I can't read this person's name.
Rhett, nah.
Okay.
01180. I got this one. So, Rob, unfortunately, you cancelled your speaking tour. I have VIP tickets, front row in Hobart. Are you planning to do this sometime in future? Yes, unfortunately, like I did have to move it because I had the fight lined up and stuff. I can't speak about it, but I've been in talks for a little while, so I wanted to use this block to just cover some skill sets, and I want to jump back in the octagon as soon as I can. So I really utilize. Sorry to everybody that bought tickets. Like, I hope you got your refunds and stuff. Hopefully we would like to do it together as like a Grange TV thing, moving down the line in the future. But I really wanted to focus right now on just getting back in the octagon, covering some skill sets in this time, as well as like we had fights lined up. Like we were in the talks weeks ago, like multiple weeks ago. So like we really just wanted to beeline into the new year and get another fight underway.
Eli, you just moved. Guys, please really, really complain about Eli. He just keeps moving the thing.
Yeah.
Abigail H, $5. Do you think fighting in front of a large but mostly quiet crowd like the Japanese would feel any different?
Yes, I think it would. I certainly think it'll play a big difference because the crowd can affect you and it does affect you. It does. And I've been affected by the crowd. Teddy Tokahai. That's a friend of mine.
All right. A real friend?
Yeah, real friend. I met him in real life.
A real friend. I met him in real life.
I met him for the first time online. And we were online friends for a long time. And then I met him.
Where'd you meet him?
He said, "Hey, you want to meet me at a cafe?" It's like 2 a.m.
And you really met?
No, I'm joking. He lives up in the Gold Coast. And
But are you actually friends?
Yeah, I was up there with my family and I just went up and met him.
Okay, how many times have you seen him in real life?
Twice.
He's not your fucking friend, mate.
Why not?
Is that a friend, Eli?
He's more of a friend than you.
Is that a friend?
I don't know. Online people, I don't know. They have plenty of friends, don't they?
So you think that guy's your friend?
Hey, no, this is biased because like Eli grew up in Ballina. There's no internet there.
No, there is no internet. There's not that many people, but still.
But I have friends.
How many times have you met that guy? Twice?
Twice.
Do you know how many people I've met twice in my life?
Yeah, but you're different.
Oh, fucking oath I am.
Yeah. Fuck, you're different.
Kadzi, $2. Merry Christmas to both of you and your families. Kadzi, right back at you, mate.
Appreciate it. Thoughts on Cowboy... Reese Smith. Thoughts on Cowboy Bebop, Rob? Best anime in my opinion. I never got into it. As the oldest anime, like I remember watching like Trigun and an Evangelion and things like that. Like that's about as old as I get. I never jumped onto Cowboy Bebop though. Apparently it's good though.
Okay,
it's fine.
I haven't seen, no.
Fab didn't watch it either.
KD8 New Zealand, $5. Do you have your eye on Edmund Shabazian? He's very, very good, that guy. Very, very good boxing, good grappler. He's good. He's very good. 21 years old. Trains out of, I think, in Glendale in the US. Nah, not really. Nah, very good. He's very, very good fighter. Very, very big prospect. So, yes, short answers.
Cool. Should we get onto the fights?
I think so. There's no more questions for us to answer. Guys, if you did ask a question and it didn't get answered, it's Eli's fault.
I just arrived.
That's right. He arrived at 2 o'clock for a 1 o'clock start.
Look at that question. Oh God.
Somebody wrote, Jawad Aziz wrote, Eli, you little fuck, you missed a question.
Yeah, he probably didn't pay for it.
Just make sure, guys, you really give it to him, you know?
Give it to him. He's been here for 30 seconds and fucked everything up.
Yeah, we've really gone backwards on this podcast. We were really doing well at one stage, and Eli's just done everything he could to fucking drag us into the abyss.
Straight back down.
Let's talk about these 3 title fights on the weekend, gentlemen. Hey, Eli, can you close this?
No, you made it bigger.
Because of my ADD? Wonderful.
There it is.
Okay.
All right, let's
Can you
start.
close this one too?
No.
I've got
you
it
don't
here.
look at the names?
No, I can't.
Okay.
I can't. Can I start this?
Yeah, let's do it.
I can't say the name correctly. Nunes versus Randame.
I'm going to back Nunes because
She knocked her out in the first round last time.
I think she's a weapon. I don't see anyone beating Nunes. Like, I love watching her because she just puts it on someone.
She's one of the few females that really Shevchenko has got it too, which is rare because she's even lighter, but that's got that boom and drops you, and that's not, and you're done.
That real knockout power, as mixed with aggression and genetics,
and good. She's good skills everywhere.
Yeah.
What do you see? Who do you see there in that fight?
I think the same Nunes. I think she's just better well-rounded.
How do you think the fight? How do you think it happens?
I think she'll stop her. I think she stopped better opponents. So
She stopped her before.
yeah, she stopped her before. Plus
How ruthless is this guy?
He's savage.
Cyborg. I don't know. Yeah, she's Nunes.
I think Nunes as well.
I'm going to Nunes.
I like Randamite a lot, but I think that Nunes is just a different
This was
animal.
her title, was it, before? And then it got taken off her for not fighting Cyborg, was it?
But Nunes beat her already. I don't know if it was non-title or title fight. I just see Nunes as being a bit too much for just about anyone in that division at this point in time. Max Holloway versus Volkanovski. Who do you have and how? Let's do a breakdown.
Yeah, like, obviously, like, I'm going to lean towards the Aussie, but I'm torn because I'm a huge Holloway fan, and I have been for the longest time. So, like, I'm just going to...
But how do you see the fight going objectively? Aside from all of that, how do you see the fight going?
You know, I can see it being a hard fight for Holloway. I think Volkanovski has got that real, like, thump in his punch. I see him having chin to take shots. I can see him. He's got the cardio to go forever. He's got the wrestling. He's got the wrestling defense. I think he can just pressure him forward for 5 rounds. He can do Holloway with maybe a bit more thump and a bit more chin. You know, in saying that though, Holloway, like at featherweight, he's looked great every time he goes in there, and he's very good at utilizing the jab and popping people away from him, like keeping that distance and really utilizing his range because he's got a lot of reach in that division.
Yeah, the thing is, I said this before, and people said Volkanovski's got longer arms, better reach than Max, you know. But I think what people don't understand is, like, when you have that height advantage, you also have like, you can lean in and lean out. You can kick.
It's very different.
All of that's reach, you know. It's not just...
As well as how you use your punches. Like
it's not just your ability to do that, and that's going to automatically give you the reach. Your ability to cover distance, your ability to lean in, make people swing, and then lean back out just with that extra height. Ability to kick the legs, kick up high. I'm curious to see how Alex will counter that. I think his stand-up's very good. Grappling, I'm interested in to see that in the grappling exchanges, how that goes.
Holloway's got great grappling.
Yeah, I like the way he grapples. I like it, you know. And he's very long, so he's got a lot of those, like, guillotines, a lot of that kind of work. I don't know that he can get Alex with it. I don't know, man. I really don't know. I think though the big problem is there's two things. Volkanovski wants to pressure him and wants to come forward, pressure him, kind of bully him. Not kind of bully him, you know, thing. And Max wants you to kind of do that so that he can start finding his range and start picking you off. And when he starts picking you off and he gets kind of loose and he's landing shots and hitting you, he can do that all day.
Yeah.
You know, and it's hard. I don't know. I don't know who to pick in that. Who you got, Eli? And how do you see the fight going?
It'll be a tough one. Sort of on the same boat where you need to support the Australian. Do you mean you want to see the Aussie win? But I think everyone's a fan of Max. A lot of people probably thinking of Mac's last performance at lightweight. Do you know what I mean? And some maybe not giving him as much of a chance, and think Alex is going to be I guess the favourite. Is he the favourite?
I don't know.
But I think if Max starts to back up too much, then it'll be Alex's fight. Why? I think if Alex gets caught, do you know what I mean, standing there and not being able to push forward and put that pressure on him, then it'll be Alex's fight.
Do you see Volkanovski being able to push forward and be able to pressure Max?
I don't think as easy as the other fighters. Do you know what I mean? But it's a tough one. Max is really good at changing angles and that as well. So do you know what I mean? He won't get backed up on that cage as easy and stuff like that. He avoids punches really well. He counters really well. It's a tough fight.
He's got a chin, man. He can take a shot. Too well, I think, even. You know, Holloway. You can take the shots a little too well.
Yeah, there's people like that.
Where he's taken, I think, more shots than he needs to.
That fight with Poirier was testament to that. Like, big shots.
Yeah.
It's just still there the whole time.
So, no, I will have to go with Alex, I think.
Yeah, I'm looking forward to it. I'm looking forward to seeing that fight. That's probably the fight, obviously, that I'm looking forward to the most, to be honest. Like, I just think... I'm curious to see how that's going to come, how that's going to unfold. It's hard as well. Do you see Volkanovski being able to take Max down and out-wrestle him, out-grapple him?
It's very hard. Like, Max is excellent wrestling defense, and he works really well off his back. It'll be hard. I think it's going to be a hard fight. I don't know where to go with this fight.
Do you see? Who do you think has more chance of knocking the other one out, like stopping him? Because I'd give that one punch power knockout to Volkanovski.
Yeah, but then after seeing him eat Poirier shots, it's very hard to go against Holloway. But then in saying that, that this is now Holloway after that fight. Yeah, that's what I was going to say, because a lot of times you look at it and you go, oh, blah, 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 blah. But, man, he's had a lot of wars too, Holloway. Yeah, he has. Yeah, I don't know. I think this could go either way. It looks like a really down-the-line fight.
Kamaru Usman versus Colby Covington.
That's going to be a crazy fight, eh? I'm gonna lean towards Colby, but
why?
Because I think they've both got the same game, except I think Covington's just the better striker. And
do you think? I think Covington is a better grappler too. I think he's the more decorated wrestler.
Yeah,
he's been able, the way that he's imposed it, I think in MMA has been pretty.
After seeing him fight RDA live and the way he fought Lawler, I don't see anyone beating him. Like, his strength, stamina, just is like, I've never seen anything like it. Like, he was taking RDA down like it was nothing, and then throwing flurries of punches and shooting again, and then flurries of punches, shooting again. In the 5th round, he was doing that still.
And that's even like, he wasn't even sometimes holding him down. He was getting him down, and Dos Anjos was getting up, and that takes a lot of cardio to do that.
Much. I've never seen anything like it. I think Colby gets him. I think Colby's a great fighter too. He's very smart, very athletic. I think his wrestling and grappling is like really, really top tier.
What do you think? Eli?
I sort of agree a little bit. I don't know, Colby, does he have to put on this show that he puts on to get to where he is?
I read a funny thing.
His skills would have, do you know what I mean? Because
I think so, yeah.
They would have respected, I feel like fans and other people in the organisation would respect him more if he just let his skills do the work. But I don't know. Is he making any more money by carrying on like this and that? Or is he making less from sponsorship and that? I'm not sure.
I read a thing today that he said that he was, they call, I don't know if this is true or not, I'm just telling you what I read, that he said that they were going to cut him after the Damian Maia fight because he didn't sell, like nobody knew who he was, they weren't interested in him. This is what he said, and I'm paraphrasing a little bit. And then he just said, all right, cool, so he won the fight against Damian Maia, and then he just said that glorious speech that he did that day. And he's just gone with that stick the whole time. I don't know. I as a fighter, I like watching him fight. I think his skill set's good. I think Usman is very similar to him, I don't know why I think I wouldn't bet against Usman, but I think that they're so similar. You know, they got the same record. It's like 15-1-0, and 15-1-0 is the same, like more or less the same record. Like I don't know if they've had like amateur fights and whatnot, but I think Usman's like a Division 2 All-American, and Colby Covington is a Division 1 All-American. And from what I understand, I think Covington is the more decorated wrestler. I've also seen him apply that wrestling in a little bit of a different format, a little bit of a different way than Usman. I can see Covington going out there and making it a wrestling match. I actually look forward to that. I hope to see them do that, and I'd like to see which one gets the better of it, because that's going to be interesting. It'll be like I'm really I'm looking forward to it. I can't wait.
Combat wrestling.
Which, by the way, we are going to do the. I don't know. We're like a commentary. I don't want to call it a commentary because we're not commentators. We're not going to sit here. We are going to watch.
We're going to watch the fights, and you can join us.
By the way, Eli, can you watch the fights on the weekend?
Sunday.
Yeah. Eli's not allowed much out because of his wife.
I am. It's Blake's birthday. I was going to go down there, but
Eli talks a mad game. Like when you ask him, he's like, yeah, I'll go out, and then he's got to be home.
Like 30 minutes later, calls you and goes, nah, I can't make it.
I can't. Like my wife said that.
Fab's only just learning about this thing called kids, eh?
We're going to we're going to watch the fights. We're going to talk about them to each other. Feel free to join us.
At least Rob and I.
And listen in. Because, it should be fun. Should be a good card.
So you're going to watch with us, Eli, or what? Guys, petition for Eli to watch with us.
Let Eli out.
Yeah, free Eli.
Free Eli.
I'll be here.
All right, we'll see. If he has a black eye, it happened at sparring.
Which I don't do anymore.
All right. So, no, guys, thank you very much. Thank you for joining us for the Q&A. We are looking at getting some more fighters on here and some other guests in the very, very, very near future. So let us know who you'd like on. And also if you are a fighter, and you want to be on, let us know.
Yeah.
All right. Thank you very much, guys. Take care.
Guys.
Bye-bye.